The chord. My favorite chord in the world.
B flat
Oh my
blues
God.
in C.
That's right.
No, C, it's called C jam blues, but it's in B flat.
Yeah, well, I had my guitar half stepped down anyway. Hey, everybody. This is Jimi Bell. I'm your host of the second season of Beyond the Strings. Can you believe it? They renewed me. They renewed me. Is that a word, renewed?
Renewed, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I am totally honored to be here at RHCTV Studios in Rocky Hill, otherwise known as Jimi Bell Studios. And today we got a show. I mean, this is insane. This is my good buddy, Marty Q. He is a legend. Marty, thank you for coming up and being on this show.
Jimmy, what an honor to be here. It really, truly is. I was very excited to know that I was asked to be on. I really am very excited.
Oh, really, man? I mean, you're just an outstanding musician, all the way through. And in the words of our buddy Roy Oliver, me and you were getting an apartment together.
I love that. Really.
But no, so anyways, I want to talk about your career. Tell me some of the things that you've done throughout your life that that been outstanding for you.
I'm the best sax player on my street.
Okay,
No,
that's a plus.
It's 3 houses.
Yeah, well, that's
Two of
okay.
it. No. But anyway, I've had some pretty good luck, thank God, playing sax. And funny thing is, I didn't really start playing sax till I was like 17 years old. I was senior in high school, started playing sax. But my family were all musicians. My uncle was a classical pianist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was phenomenal. One of my dearest cousins, John, plays piano. Another great, great musician, John Evolani. So I was always around it, and always a piano in the house, always playing. But I was a drummer at first, played in a working band, playing drums.
That's where I started. I mean,
yeah.
Other than the stand-up bass throughout my school years, drums was my. I said, okay, I want to be a drummer. I knew I wasn't going to play bass, in a stand-up band, but a drummer was it.
Yeah, and I had a great time. I was playing 3 nights a week in college, having a ball playing in a working band. But and then they worked the saxophone. And, you play sax? So then it was like the very first time we used like a drum machine on stage. Like this is in 84, 1985. And I would play a couple songs on the alto sax. So, and then saxophone became ridiculously popular. Like Kenny G just blew it out of the water, brought it into the mainstream, which this is his most notable. He plays all the horns, of course, but soprano sax. Everybody says, "Oh, that's a clarinet," and it's a saxophone.
Right.
But same family, woodwind family.
Okay, so how many? All right, so if I'm
just like the voice.
If I'm not mistaken, there's probably more, but as far as I know, there's a soprano, an alto, and a tenor sax.
Yes, and baritone.
Oh, a baritone too.
A lot more plumbing.
Real? Oh, the big
bobble.
Oh, wow.
If I
have you ever tried one of those?
I have a couple times, and it wasn't the airflow that I need. It was just you're playing rhythm almost on that thing,
Yeah.
And my rhythm days were over when I stopped playing drums. Well, I still play drums, but like I didn't want to associate rhythm. Like you're doing a lot of bodum, bodum.
Almost bass lines.
Yeah, and it didn't thrill me. And I like the sound of these horns. They're like cars, like this is like the race car.
Yeah.
You're going fast. It's pretty. It's handling well, and that's more mid-size and a different tone. Get a little growling out of it, and then the tenor's just the workhorse. You could.
Yeah.
That's like a truck. So.
I think I got to tell you, when I hear saxophone. And I absolutely love the saxophone. I think of it as you might laugh, I think of it as a sexy instrument.
Oh, it's expressive.
Yeah, it's like,
so many guitar players say, I listen to sax players. For the notes. And same thing. I mean, yeah.
Well, the lines, see, even, we were talking, prior to us recording, we were playing a little bit, we're talking about chromaticism and things like that. There's so many lines that a sax player does that could be, brought onto the guitar. And I think a lot of guitar players do that. A guy like Alan Holsworth that was very huge with legato, meaning he, he doesn't pick every note. He would, pick a lot of it hammer to try to get the sound of like either emulate like what a sax or a violin would do, that nice flowing thing like that.
And you could bend the notes, you could growl the notes as almost like guitar with a little distortion or overdrive, you could, you know,
Now tell me, how do you bend a
actually
note?
you could use you could growl to, like, instead of.
Oh yeah,
I'm
use
just
a little bit.
growling my throat.
You're making a
Literally.
noise with almost with your.
I'm literally growling. They call it a growl, yeah.
Oh really?
Like, in the still of the night.
Oh wow.
They're just growling instead of, you know, playing smooth.
When you said still in the night, I thought you were going into White Snake. That's just still in the night.
In the still of the night. Still of the night. Yeah. I know.
I love it.
I should remember who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
No,
But, that was recorded in New Haven, Connecticut. The sax solo of In the Still of the Night is one of the most famous. We were talking about famous sax solos
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
famous lines. And that was recorded in New Haven, Connecticut, in a church basement.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Show me how you bend a note. How do you bend a note? Is
well,
it easier to do it on this?
Your embouchure, you know, you're just kind of let up a bit.
All right, hold it.
And
But
to
to people that don't know,
your embouchure is all these tiny muscles in your mouth that secure, you know, first of all, you put your teeth on the mouthpiece.
oh, you do?
All your teeth. My teeth are on it. But in fact, if you look close, I mean, my indentions of my teeth are on the.
I didn't know that. I thought it was all lip thing.
Oh, no.
You got a bite on the. You got a
Yeah.
bite on the mouthpiece.
You could put a piece of tape or something to, because it's you know, it's going to rattle the hell out of your mouth.
Oh wow.
It could be. You can't even play saxophone if you have an underbite. You can't play saxophone because you need an overbite. Yeah, if you have an underbite, you can't play sax. It just doesn't. You can't. It won't work.
Really?
Yeah. I know it's weird stuff.
Say no, but this is all so informative. This is all stuff I never knew before.
Yeah, and then and of course the reed. This is there is a reed. Usually,
let's see through.
Yes, I went to a synthetic reed. I've used cane reeds forever, and I love the sound. But the problem with the cane is it's real wood, and you get out of the box, 10 box of 10, you get 2 good ones. And then before a gig, now there were gigs I'm playing, not so much soprano, alto, tenor sax, and then I'm setting up a guitar, setting up a PA. I'm setting up forever. And to get the reed moist and work it, and sometimes you got to rub it down. And I was spending so much time. So I said, just for now, I'm going to try a synthetic reed.
I didn't even know they made them.
Oh, and this is, it's like plastic, but it's a weird combination. But anyway, I looked up to my favorite players, and Gerald Albright was one of the best player on the planet in my book. But anyway, he plays Legier reeds. So I said, I got to try these out. I tried it out, and then I tried recording. So there's no way I'm going to record with it. It doesn't have that tone, that richness, and I was wrong again. So
really?
So now that's all I do is play, you know, little.
Now when I was
Legier reeds here, but
what I know about reeds, you know, of course that wasn't around when I was
just like strings, all
right.
thickness.
So there's different gauges. Now what is a normal? What would be a number? Was it number 2 that was a normal reed?
2's like where you would start out. Yeah, 2.5, and then the firmer the reed, you obviously need a strong embouchure and a little more wind, but you could also do more with harmonics. And
so yeah. So what is the
the
purpose of a thicker reed?
It's just how comfortable, how easy you want it to play. And for instance, you like a guitar, when you overdrive it, or with a sax, you could overblow the tone and get a little edginess.
Right.
And if the reed is too soft, you're not going to be able to do it. And yet, if it's too hard, you won't be. So you got to find your comfort, you know, for your strength.
Is there a certain number reed? Like, do you use different reeds for, like, say, different songs, or like once you find a number, that's your number?
For this horn, it's a 2.25, 2.25, and for my alto, I use 2.5, and my tenor, I use 2.75. It's very strange, but all different mouthpieces, and I just overhauled that in my tenor. Because I was like, you know, a little leak here, a little leak there. It's like, this is nuts.
So yeah, I was, you know,
money.
I did have a sax at the house for a while, and I remember, I mean, all the pads were dried out, and they had to, you know, they brought it in. My father used to dabble with it a little bit.
Big money.
So what is it to repad whole thing now.
Around here, there's a couple good guys. I should probably plug them. John Ball from the Music Lab in Southington. He's absolutely the best tech, and I've run into it. I've had a few, and you could do it around here for like $1,100, $1,200.
Oh, well, it's went up a lot.
Oh yeah, or you can go to Boston or New York. It's $1,500 to $1,800.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how
it's brand new again though. Every pad, every spring, everything. They take everything off the horn, and they put everything back on, and they balance it out, and yeah, it's like brand new horn again.
How often
Do you do that?
does that have to be done?
I only did it once with each horn, and I've been playing the same horns for 30 years. You probably should do it every 10 years, if you play a real lot,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get a long life out of it,
It's funny you mentioned Kenny G, because I remember when Kenny G got real popular, like some people were like, it was
Kenny Gorlick.
They were kind of like mocking him a little bit, all this stuff. But he's really, really great.
I don't, I've heard the guys in the union, the jazz guys, like I would go out and do a gig. The David Letterman band, they played on David Letterman. One of the sax players, his name was Bruce.
Yeah.
He played in the Trouble Boys. They played weddings on the side, just like me, just like anybody around here. And you record, you do your concerts, but they're playing weddings because they're getting $8, $10,000, whatever, to go from New York to come to the AquaTurf.
Yeah.
So anyway, I met the band because Bruce, he played tenor sax. He didn't play soprano. And Kenny G got so popular, people were having the first dance, That was what they wanted to hear. And I'm like,
beautiful.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
For
money.
Do you want so I was getting gigs with their band. And this guy is way overqualified, but he didn't have soprano sax. He didn't want to, maybe he didn't want to buy one, maybe he doesn't like it. And the thing about Kenny G that I crack up, you get these guys, he plays it, or he's, I don't want to say the word gay, or it's feminine, but let me tell you something. If you could play a melody that beautiful, you do it. Let me hear you play it.
Well, I think the thing that Kenny G got very popular because he actually had hits.
Oh, Clive Davis from Arista, he was at Arista Records.
So that was kind of unusual. So people, I think they were looking to poke fun at, But he was laughing all the way to the bank.
But Kenny G was the sax player for Jeff Lorber.
Oh.
Jeff Lorber, the amazing keyboard player and world renowned. Kenny G was his sax player. Kenny G was the sax player. Just like Dave Koz, who is on top of the world right now as far as selling in jazz, he was playing on tour for years with Richard Marx.
Let me ask you something.
And then they went into we're gonna really harness this guy in with melody and produce him, and then we're gonna push it. Smooth jazz was born.
When you got into saxophone, who was like someone that you said, I had all my rock guitar influences.
I'll tell you the solo. Reasons by Earth, Wind & Fire.
Oh, love that. Love it.
Yeah, it's
go ahead, play it.
Well, I just
do everything.
I'm just gonna because you said
I want you
a
to
little
play,
illustration.
These are all classic sax things. You can't. I would not even want you not to play them.
His entry is just ridiculous. He just goes. He goes. And then the big line at the end, Philip Bailey, he's going, do we hear you? Yeah. And then Donald Migrant goes, and then he sings the line, then he plays it again. And my read ain't set up right for it, but I'm just trying to give you but that song, I learned it, I played it, and then there was a local band who was playing Earth, Wind & Fire. I would go to their gig, I'd put my horn on my neck, and I would stand there and wait for them to call me to the stage, because I played it, and I played the song with them, and that just that song, that was it for me.
I love Earth.
Yeah.
You know, I always love them. As a matter of fact, they had a lefty guitar player. I used to look
Oh,
at him all the time
yeah.
and go, "Oh man, that
Chanking
guy's-"
away, man.
Yeah.
Or if you heard this, you know. I mean,
Classic.
you know, or the one.
Well, the one I want.
I know. Okay.
My wife.
Because you won't get the gig unless you could do this.
No,
for
no.
me.
Listen, this is for
This
my
is
wife,
for-
Mandy. This is she loves this.
A couple smudges in there.
Oh, that's
You'll
all
let me
right.
slide.
I love it.
I don't even do that song, but that's like the most. Or the.
Hey, it's, yeah. I mean, honestly,
Well, that's the alto.
how
for
can
it.
how can you not love to hear the sound of the saxophone? I mean,
Well, that's what it was for me. I love the tone. I love that. And the same thing, that's why I fell in love with that, because it's a different, you know, it's like you play one sound, like you could change your sound a million ways.
Yeah.
You got your rock sound, you got the same, but sax, I mean, I only got three sounds, my alto, tenor, and soprano. And,
yeah, but you know, it's just that there's so much that you could do with it, and it's such
it's expressive.
It's a very expressive instrument. I mean, you could really, it sets a mood,
Oh.
a saxophone. It just, it's one of those, you know, I look at it, the sax as one of those, you know, as I said, it's a sexy instrument, but it's something that you could, you know, listen to over a nice, you know, you have a dinner going,
Oh, yeah.
you know, have some beautiful sax playing in the
Absolutely.
background.
I listened. I used to be really listen to a lot of different players. I used to like the old school, you know, Charlie Parker, and then I got into you know, Grover Washington Jr., who basically bridged the gap from real jazz, and he took it into like, now we're gonna funk out and we're gonna play melodies, and he still wasn't smooth jazz yet. And then, you know, I think guys like Kenny G took it from there. And then now there's so many players now. Now they're just all piling on. I mean, there's just so
I used to
many.
listen to the Becker brothers.
Oh, I saw the Brecker. I saw them
did?
at Farmington High School.
did?
Michael Brecker he passed. The guy was amazing. His famous solo was one of his famous solos. He played on so many records. No, I'm sorry, no. That was Kirk Whalum. No, but Unforgettable, Natalie Cole.
Oh, really?
When she redid it, you know the sax
yeah.
solo on it? That's Michael Brecker.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
The famous sax solo on James Taylor, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. And then he's doing, and then he plays a solo, and that's David Sanborn. And David Sanborn played on so many records. All them, Carole King, You Belong to Me, da 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 da. That's David Sanborn.
Wow.
Because I was, you know, a nerd and looked at the credits. Remember the album credits?
Yeah, that was the best thing.
Nowadays, you hear a song, it's on Spotify. Who's playing? I don't know. What the hell is this?
You have to Google, say, you know, and hopefully they have it listed, you know.
All right, one of the most famous, probably one of the most famous rock sax solos now. Okay. Now, you tell me
Hit
the
me
song.
with it.
All right,
Hit me.
you tell me the song. The band Foreigner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
I forgot.
Urgent.
Urgent. Yeah. Do you know it?
there's this. Oh yeah, we do it. I play it.
Oh, play the sax.
Well, I
part
do
for
it.
me.
I do it on the tenor.
Well, do it.
But, So, but it's. I'll play it. It's in a different key, but it goes. And he goes. But it's on the tenor, and then
Oh, yeah.
and I'm in a different key, so it doesn't sound.
No, I get it.
But Foreigner was playing in the recording studio, and I'm not sure what town it was, and they had the song, and someone said, he's in the other room. This Junior Walker. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
What does it take? Now he's a R&B. Is it politically correct? A black guy, you know.
Yeah.
He never played rock and roll. He played 50s rock and roll.
Right.
But this is Foreigner, okay? So they said, get him. He came in and he blew that solo just like that. Now,
See, you know what?
that is the most incredible, one of the most incredible rock
Yeah, but could you imagine though that song without it?
No,
so that's
you
what I'm
can't do
saying.
it.
It's like there's
And-
something about just adding that. And I even heard, you know, I watched the Wham documentary, and it talked about when they had that song, and apparently, if I remember correctly, because I was trying to pay attention, apparently they had a whole bunch of different people come in to try and do that
solo. That low horn line. Oh,
yeah, and then finally,
I don't even know who played. I should look. I don't know who played it.
yeah,
how about-
finally, whoever did it, they said that's.
Or in a different key. This was
Yeah.
Man,
who
it worked.
would it be now?
See, all these songs are coming back to me because through the years I've played them all. So it's kind of strange. Like you said, how could that song go without that line?
No, you would miss it.
You would-
I mean, what would they do? Like even on that George Michael song, what would? I mean, if they didn't have
but
that
that's-
sax solo,
and that
what
is-
would they do?
I think
you
that
know?
is the right key.
Yeah.
A little reverb on that, puppy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So here, let's do
What are we doing now?
you want to use that? Just to demo it? Just the same.
Sure. What, a B flat?
Well, no. What you said it was? I said I had to play in. Give me your C. What your?
Play? Could you play an E flat?
Yeah, I'm down a half step, so I would
that
play in
would
C
be-
sharp.
No good.
No.
Oh, play in C sharp.
Yeah, I'm playing. No. I'm playing C sharp.
Yeah. See how when I get on it, I can get the like.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's just the bomb.
Yep.
The bomb.
But there's some, really cool stuff you could do with it, you know. And this, I learned this horn it's a Mark 7. The Mark 6 was to die for sax. Everybody got to have a Mark 6, you know. It's like.
Oh yeah, tell me.
all right, so
what are some good
this is
brand horns?
well,
I mean,
nowadays they, you know, as usually they make copies of everything, but
what's a pro?
always a Selmer, a
Selmer.
Selmer. Yeah, it's made in Paris.
I've known that
made
name
by
for
hand,
years.
Selmer.
Selmer's still.
And the Mark 6 tenor was the horn. They all played it, but you could always change your sound, mouthpiece, and reed. They were easily, you know, they had a good thick alloy. It played, you know, the action was good. You know, it's just
Right.
like a guitar. You know, the action, how it feels. And the sound was good because it was a thick. But you could change it with pads. You could change your sound with.
So are you saying a
I
pad?
have
a pad
this
will
is-
change the sound
oh,
of this?
Absolutely. If you can see, it's leather.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's a little ring. It's a
ring,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's metal, but that's the resonator. That thing is really pushing the sound through the horn. The leather is just how it is closing the. So if it was all metal, it would click. You don't want click, click, click. You want
So are
See,
you saying if the rubber was thicker, it would change the sound? Is that what would do it?
If it's all in the resonator. If the resonator was smaller or a different material, there's like they call it like dark red. It makes your sound a little darker, like a little, could be warmer. Like those guys use it for like orchestra. But see, this is built for, this is built for the rock and roll, Very bright, very open, But the pads will change your sound absolutely.
Let me ask you something.
The Selmer is a great horn. There's these other horns from different like countries are making them, like Yanagasawa. Yamaha made a decent pro horn, but Selmer to me is just,
They've been around for years, right?
It's Stratocaster.
Yeah. It's like a Fender.
It's
Fender.
It's
It's the Fender of a horn.
It's it. So
now, are you like if you have to? How do you know if your horn needs to be repad?
It's leaking. It's leaking.
It's leaking.
Because you're playing and you're not getting your full tone, and then you're struggling. Like this is the top stack. This is the bottom stack. You may feel when you go down to the bottom stack, wow, I'm not getting the notes out. Not, your instrument,
Yeah.
And most of the time a horn starts sticking right in the middle of the horn, right here, G sharp, right there. That's the middle pad or the middle of the horn. If it starts sticking there, that's where it's going to start. And then
it works its way
then
down.
it works its way down or up, and then
Can you? So
it's all half steps.
For
It's
me
all half
and
steps.
everybody else,
I know it looks like a bunch of.
I want you to explain.
It's
the buttons and everything.
Every pearl, or every hole, I should say, because some of them don't have. Every hole is in half steps. So when you cover the holes, so you can barely see, starting away from the top, you see that's
Okay.
that's F, and then that covered, then that's E. I'm sorry, that's F sharp, that's F, that's E, that's E flat. That's D.
How did that guy named Sachs come up with this thing?
That
was his name. I can't even believe you told me
His name
that.
is John Sachs, and I read up on it, and he invented saxophone because you can only play one note at a time on a saxophone, basically. You
But
can't.
how do you?
So every time you press another button, it goes down a half a step. You can even hear. Listen. You can even listen.
Oh, you can almost hear him.
Oh, you absolutely.
You can hear the
Listen.
scale. Oh my goodness. Now, what is
That's your great question, because now you're going E, D, E flat. It's a half tone. So look at, and it's right in the middle of D. Look at, see that? That's
wow.
D,
Yeah.
and that's C. Right in the middle is E flat. D. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
D,
you would
C sharp. I'm sorry. D flat. No, that's C sharp. C sharp, C, D, E flat, E. So yeah. See E, and then to E flat, you got to cover those two. See that? And then D,
goodness.
C, B, B flat. It's all halves. It's amazing.
And when you're do me a favor, just so people could actually, I don't know if people would be able to see this, but play just a regular scale going up so to show the fingering.
See?
So you had everything pressed,
right,
and then you're releasing
one at a time, yeah.
One at a time going up.
And then if it was two sharps, I'm transposing. If I play D to D, I'm sharp, F sharp, and C sharp. So this would be it. It's an octave key. Changes low D.
Where's the octave key?
Right there.
Oh, I'm more fascinated with this. I'm like loving this.
Well,
great.
I never really even thought how in depth.
Well, and I learned something at the beginning before we even started filming today, is that I didn't know you could tune a saxophone with a mouthpiece. I mean, that's.
Well, I'll give you a dramatic.
Yeah, give me a dramatic
experiment. Well,
okay.
to exaggerate, So you set up your horn, and you're ready to play with the band.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here
so give me a concert C.
Yeah,
right?
the concert C that we did.
Right.
Oh, that's a half step down.
Oh yeah, watch this. Now watch. I'm not gonna do anything. Look, my 2 fingers here. Not gonna change the note. Now watch this. You can tune it like almost as much cork as you got there, you know.
Wow. Did you ever?
Oh,
Let me ask
someone
you,
takes
have
a
you ever-
video, and you know what happens is temperature. So you pick it up in the middle of a show, and it's cold, and it's going flat, and you're like, oh no, and you're trying to tune in the middle of a song. You ever see a sax player and they're playing, and they go like this, and they go, they're tuning.
Yeah.
In the middle of a song.
You know what's terrible? I got to tell you. Nowadays, I mean, when in my younger days back in the '80s when I was playing and stuff, if I made mistakes or something like that, it would be only those people at the show. Now it's like if you do anything wrong, it's
yeah.
all over YouTube. It's like everybody's got a cell phone camera recording everything.
Yeah, a little pressure there. I had a little pressure when I was playing that. I had to gather myself to do that George Michael thing the second time. First time, I hit a couple of clunkers. Well, I never played that song, but
No,
yeah. Now the whole world's going to see me play it right and wrong.
That's all right. That goes to show that you're human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what is Eddie Van Halen? It's just a passing tone. Just
Yeah.
keep playing.
What? Tell me about. Okay, so before we even run out of time, I had the honor of recording a couple tracks with you. Now,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
they weren't this stuff. You actually write.
No. I write on guitar. Yeah.
You play. Now you even do acoustic shows, right?
The majority how I got here because I met through Michael, who is in the other room, and I want to say thank you guys for treating us so good.
Yeah.
But I play probably 3 times a week. I sit on a stool and I play acoustic guitar and sing. That's my gig. And 3-4 times a night, I bring out the sax for a little, trump card on the,
Do you play a track with it?
Yeah.
So you'll run a track.
I run a track and play some smooth jazz, some of my cuts or some, cover tunes. But basically, my gig, if I have my band, I play a lot more sax and I sing. And I do play acoustic guitar. I'm driving the band, and I'm a lead guitar guy. That's once every couple weeks as a band we play, or if we do a party or whatever.
Right.
But my main gig, and it's so weird, it turned into this, is especially since COVID, nobody wants to have a band. But I'm a working musician. I got to work.
Yeah.
So I go sit on a stool, and for 3 hours in a restaurant, and I'll play a couple sets, and I'll sing pop tunes, rock tunes, whatever. And that's my gig.
Wow.
I'm a strummer and a singer,
That's amazing. It's funny. All the years that I've known you, I didn't even know till recently you played guitar.
Yeah. And I have to say, sitting next to you, and how dare me play, like I was playing the Stones tune. But you know what? I have to say, I'm finally starting getting very comfortable. I love to write. You need a chord instrument.
Yeah, so how many records you've done?
I have 9 full-length records out.
9?
Yeah, there's probably 3
And you only let me play on 2? How dare you?
Well,
you didn't tell me then.
I tell you what, the first time, I got to say this, I had the song Do Ya. It's
fun
if you look it
rock
up, you can look it up on Spotify. It says Do Ya featuring Jimi Bell. So I wrote this song, and I just felt like it was, and I hope it doesn't affect. It sounded kind of 80s to me.
Yeah.
But the melody was.
Please.
But
Look at me.
But like even when I was recording the rhythm track, and the engineer said, "Well, I played the drums to it, and I tracked the guitar, so you know how to do it." So he goes, "Sounds kind of 80s," and I was like, "Well, I don't care. Is it a hit or not?
Yeah.
Do you like the song or not? Is it a melody or not?" And I thought every time I played it for somebody, wow, it's a great melody. I love it. It's like it had a hook.
Yeah.
In their world. So okay, every mama loves its baby. So I said, I got to get a real strong guitar here. And I had met you the first time at that blues show, and that's another story because that's really a compliment to you. I wanted to crawl under the table. I had to play a solo after Jimi Bell. So I was like, why don't you just throw me into the wolves? So anyway, so I said, I'm going to call you. How cool was this? I still tell my friends. I had Jimmy's phone number. I said, I'm going to call Jimi Bell. See what And you said, I'm busy with the WWF or whatever.
Yeah, the WWE
And
stuff.
I said, all right. I said, I'm going to call Jimmy, and maybe he'll come down. And you said, yeah, man, I'd love to do it. I said, what? Okay, so you came down to Shelton,
Yeah, Sheldon.
Paul Oak Blacks.
The Paul's
And
studio.
dude, you just kicked it out of the, you just,
That was a lot of fun.
and I'll tell you what, it sounds awesome. I wish we could have played. Look it up on Spotify. It's called Doya, D-O-Y-A.
Marty Q.
By Marty Q, featuring Jimi Bell. It's a rockin' tune. And then
I love the last one we
the
did
other one,
because you let me write a little
same.
bit to it.
So, yeah, and you know what? I got to pay a lot of honor to the song. It's called Black Widow. And it's kind of funny because I know Michael was fooling around with it. He puts spiders in the video.
Yeah.
So it came about, my drummer at a gig, we were in Southington, and some girl was wearing a black dress is sitting in the corner, like the tube dress that's sitting in the corner. I'm gonna get penalty for this or something.
That's okay.
So anyway, it's very clean though. So my drummer goes like this. He says one word. He goes, waiting. I said, what? He points to it, waiting, like she's waiting to
come in
kill.
for the strike.
And I said, and then my guitar player goes, like a black widow. And I said, oh my God, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
And I said, and so, despite the
The
pause
wheels start.
in the conversation, she communicates very well, and she's gonna, so anyway, ran away with it. And we were recording during COVID, if you remember.
I remember.
And every Monday night we got together with friends. We said, we just want to make music. We want to have fun, drink a beer, have fun with our friends. And when they heard the track, they said, we got to get somebody like really rock, really. And I wanted to make the vocal like Alice Cooper a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But you came in, so the song was, you learned the song in like 5 minutes. I mean, it wasn't like.
No, but I like the
then-
vibe of what you were doing.
Right,
It was
and
just,
then,
we just needed to do
if you
something.
remember, you cut in, there was like a 4-bar or 8-bar, you went into this riff and you said, and I was like, you said, I really like, it's kind of like out of Stone's rhythm vibe. And I was like, yeah. So then you took that and then you played that and it
Yeah,
really,
we made it. I added a little, I'm a huge,
and then you
huge
had
Richards
some,
fan. Yeah.
a
A wah with a slide.
Yeah.
I had a wah. Oh, I forgot about that.
And I was like, whoa, man. It was just, like, it was perfect, sir. So I can't wait. And then I did have some country thing, because I see you online, you're picking, and I'm like, I got to get in for something country. And I had a couple things, and I'm like, I'm going to wait till I get a real, one of those fast ones.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Yeah, get me on one of those.
I love it. I just call you on the phone. Jimmy.
I'm always around.
Dude, it's like if you're a basketball player, let me call Michael Jordan. Hey, Mike, yeah, could you come over? Yeah, we're gonna play one-on-one outside.
Yeah, it's fun.
Play some Dude, I love.
I think of you as a world-class musician. I love the way you play, and it was all I could remember is us playing the Waterbury Palace Theater. That is such a class. We were playing with
Oliver
I was
boys.
with Roy Oliver and the boys doing the bottoms up, and we had Aaron Troy Danner on there, and you guys, and we're playing the Waterbury Palace. I'm looking out in the audience, and I'm going like, I mean, you know how Roy is and Chad and everything. They're out of their minds, and I'm going, oh my God. Don't let this be what I think it's going to be.
Roy, don't say anything.
Yeah, don't say
Well, he was
anything.
warned.
He was warned. He
so many times.
He had to be kind of normal. And I'm looking. There's like all these. There was some older, respectable people in the audience coming to see you.
That's my crowd.
Yeah, that was your crowd
60
all in
to
the
80s.
front. And there's Roy, and Roy is, he said something like, his line. Any of you ladies want a minute and 50 seconds? I mean, he did one of his things, and I'm going like, oh my God, we're going to get kicked off this thing and never.
I just remember, like, beyond professional, you come in. I'm sure you're used to these gigs because, you do these big gigs, arenas or whatever. But the part that really struck me was we come in and we load the equipment. They take, they do the sound, get all the white noise out, blah, blah, blah. 3 bands. And then, all right, we're going to go eat. We're going to go for a break. We're going to do, and you're practicing. Like,
yeah, I just sit there and
like
practice.
what? Like,
I practice. I practice from the second to I practice all day, the day of the show, and then the second I arrive,
crazy.
during sound check, and then I'll play all the way up to where we go. My hands, I just condition my hands that I have to play like this. There's, I have to keep my hands going. in order for me to do what I do, you know, the picking, like this hand has to match this hand. I can't stand hearing something that's sloppy and stuff.
wow.
So I got to be, I'm always working on making it, you know. And of course, you know, it's 67. I mean, in my younger days, I didn't have as much problem, but you know, at 67, you know, you start, you know, you got to work a little bit harder, but I don't mind.
But no, and you played and you practiced and you just.
I'm still learning stuff, Mario. It's
isn't it amazing?
I'm still learning. I'm learning new stuff on the guitar all the time, and I go, geez, you know, when you look at your instrument, like even the way you would look at a saxophone, it's a never-ending learning piece.
And that's why I love guitar so much, because in the middle of the stream, I switched instruments. I did it to write, but I'm so into guitar. I'll never play lead. It's just, not that it's too much work, but I could practice for 10 years. And why? I could just call you or somebody else to do it. I like to write songs and sing. So
that'd be me, like me playing, trying to say.
Yeah, it's just, you got to know. I mean, I'm stretched out enough with the instruments. So,
well, listen, man, I got to tell you, it was a real. I can't thank you enough for making a trip up here and being on the show.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, I absolutely love you. You're the best.
I love you too, man. I'm calling you again. You're coming in.
You call me anytime you want.
And we're gonna do something again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for checking in. Please look up Marty Q on all social media networks. He is absolutely amazing. He has 9 albums out. And what were
some are jazz, some are rock.
But what were the two that we did?
You played on Doya, D-O-Y-A.
Well, what's the name?
The name of the record is Two-Faced.
Two-Faced. Okay.
The album. And then you played on Black Widow is the name of the last one we did. And that's on Denim Soul is the name of the record.
Okay.
And they're all original songs. And then so I have like 3 or 4 rock records, and I have 4 or 5 jazz records, and there's 2 like that are both.
I love it. Well, listen, folks, if you need a sax player, Marty Q's your guy. You look him up. He's absolutely amazing. And thank you for tuning in. That's another episode of Beyond the Strings right here at Jimi Bell Studios, RHCTV. See you next time.